Welcome to Loleventvods. Watch the full game of today's LTA 2025 matchup.
Take down FlyQuest, the reigning LCS champions who nearly knocked out Gen G last year. So this is one of those David versus Goliath situations where, sometimes as the underdog, it feels really good to take a swing.
And Zofe has been a guy who has played any sort of top lane champion. He's played a different champion every single game. And so there's been so much talk about Whippo, talking about his top lane, counter picks and champion pool priority. Zofe is really happy to slam the Mbessa here, even with Cassante up, with Poppy up, with Jace up, with all those counter picks and things that Whippo has played into it and does like.
And a pretty different draft than what we saw last time around. There was so much focus on top lane in that previous series, 4 or 5 bans in the first phase alone. This time, like you say, everything's up.
And I do want to mention, of course, with those counter picks being up, the Mbessa could be flexed into mid lane. And so the first pick priority there isn't like shoehorning them into a top lane pick. Very well could have some versatility. Cody himself, has had a really, really good split, especially the Ahri games. A lot of playmaking for him. Yeah. So we'll see, but we get some familiar faces here with the Varus and Sejuani for the early picks on the side of FlyQuest.
Absolutely. Maokai did not get through either game. Last time around was not played in that previous series, but it's going to be grabbed here for Scary. So Ezreal as well, rounding that out. Obviously, very popular pick all around the world, but does give them, pretty solid first 3 there. You have some engage, you have some poke, you have a strong top laner, and I'm really curious to see if Whippo is going to lock his pick here on 3 or let that fall through until the next round.
I thought Scary had a really good early game in their tiebreaker game that they played versus Isurus Astral on the Maokai. It was very active, making a lot of plays, and it did seem like they were going to get an advantage, but Mel already here. Maokai ult is a great ult to reflect, so
yes.
You see, Ezreal's a great champion to pick up Mel into. Maokai is an extraordinary champion to pick Mel into. We get to see it on stage. I'm actually so hyped for this.
I have played both Maokai and Nami into Mel, and neither is very fun. It is, because it doesn't just even reflect a section of the ult. The whole ult just starts coming back towards you. It is crazy. That interaction makes it so tough, because now you can never start off a fight with Maokai ult. It has to be something first, right? Yeah. And people love using Maokai ult to push you back off the tower, to set up positioning for a team fight. That's just not an option.
Yeah, it also does mean, Quad's positioning. You have to pay a lot of attention to it if he's going to move up to be able to take skill shots for people, block for them. Of course, it does give you a speed boost as well.
Do you think that we are going to get poke Varus then, and just do more of a heavy poke style here from FlyQuest?
100%, because, like I was saying on the dive, and we were talking about it, Mel's kit is just so perfect for poke comps in general, and especially in pro play, because she brings her own poke, plus the root is really, really powerful, plus the ultimate, of course, for the reflect. But as we get deeper into the draft here, the couple of bans that they are worried about, I actually really do like the Bard ban, because you're already looking at the Ezreal and you're thinking, oh, there's going to be a lot of time for pro Delta to roam around. There's definitely a support that does like to leave bottom lane, and the Bard ultimate is one that you still have to worry about. So really good, I think, last ban there.
Victor as well is one of those matchups for Mel that can be difficult. You can get the push on Mel, and there's nothing to use the W on. Like, yeah, you can immune the damage, but there's no good reflect target whatsoever. Yes. Volibear coming through. We were chatting all about this last week, and you didn't get to be on there, so they're giving a gift to you, Kobe. Yeah. It's volley top here for Whippo.
Yeah, it's Whippo streamed some of the scrims versus Cloud9. I believe it was one of the last scrims that they streamed where he played top Volibear, and even getting behind, he became a massive, massive juggernaut doing the Fimbulwinter super tanky build. So this should be a fun one. Volibear also does synergize super well with Sejuani, because Volibear has the auto attack reset with Q and being able to close distance very easily. So a lot of flexible angles here. Very powerful lane, the Volibear into the Mbessa. So I actually really, really do like this draft. They've got range, from the dual carries of Mel and Varus, and then plenty of upfront bruiser frontline here to be able to go super deep with their engages.
How do you like Volibear in a potential swap here, right? Would you like to see them go for it?
Volibear is actually quite fine in swaps. The shield is actually really, really useful, and having the CC yourself is definitely available, but I would want to play my Volibear lane into the Mbessa.
Yep.
So I want to take advantage of this Mbessa before she's scared. scales before she gets out of control. Maybe it's a situation where, you know, you want to keep all of them low economy.
Yeah.
But personally, I want them standard lanes, and I want Volibear to be chomping.
All right, well, we'll see if he's going to be doing it. Also, you know, overall, relatively low damage composition here from FlyQuest, you know, if they do go for that poke Varus. So it'll be interesting to see if it is going to be lethal tempo or if it is going to be that poke like we were expecting. Obviously, some pretty soft targets to be firing in towards, but the sustained damage does leave a little bit something to be desired. And it is going to be poke Varus because he is playing that Halo Blades. We have Comet for quad here. Pretty much you just see Comet or you see First Strike sometimes on Mel as well. But should be a really fun game here, and we'll see what FlyQuest is going to be looking like. The teams obviously have had a little bit of time to arrive, to acclimate, to do some scrims in the studio, and the studio setup here is very, very cool. You know, it's connected with like the Riot offices as well, so they have PC bongs, they have scrim setups, they have all kinds of stuff here. Definitely been a lot of fun checking it out.
Yeah, it's been a really fun day one, getting the tour around, getting to meet everyone. Analyst also did a pretty good job of getting everyone to meet the big two carries of Cody and Seo. I think those are what most of the FlyQuest prep are looking at attacking, trying to keep those carries down. Cody has had an amazing split for himself in the mid lane, and so we'll see how he does into Mel. Do think it's a very good setup here for quad.
Inspired when the pause comes through, he goes, Rogue? Is that Rogue over there? Pause it? But we are unpaused, and we are ready to kick off this series, second series of the day here of the America stage. And Leviatan looking for a potential early invade. They are going to be spotted out, though, immediately by Inspired.
Chase him right out of the jungle. Bwipo, you can see on the mini-map, is going to get that counter ward on Blue Gromp.
And while we do get this level 1 set up, let's hear from Pro Delta on Leviatan's greatest strengths.
For me, my team have a really good team fights. We have a really good players mechanical, so doesn't matter if you are 2K or 3K behind, we can still win a fight, we can still win a game, so they need to be careful because we can always get back in the game.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, FlyQuest definitely going to have to make sure they are not underestimating them. It is a 4-man stack on top side. They are committing to this early invade and potentially a split map.
And look at the FlyQuest here. They're trying to call, and they're staying out of vision in the fog of war, not going across that top side ward. They are going to call, and they're waiting till the last moment. You can see on the mini-map before they go up past the middle point of that top lane. And then finally reveal themselves. Meanwhile, opposite sides here for both jungles, just clearing away, and we're going to have Mbessa soaking a little bit on the way down to a bottom side. Meanwhile, Bwipo did not soak up any and just helps out with jungle.
And it's very common to see that start in LTA South. If you watch a lot of their lane swaps and a lot of their games, will start with the top laner soaking some experience in mid lane before going down towards bot. So we do have Aussie lanes. Masu taking a fair bit of poke there, and the Ignite was committed by Pro Delta. Bwipo spent his early time actually leashing Inspired, which is pretty uncommon in pro play these days, but because the top laner is, of course, doing something mid, you can afford to accelerate your jungler a little bit. And we see Maokai has full cleared on top side, so we'll see if Inspired has this info and if he's just going to go cross map. He's spotted now, so now he should know. And it's going to be interesting to see if he actually responds because he's still moving up towards the top side of the map. So I don't think he realizes.
They want to fight it. I think that with the vision, he does realize and is going for a gank somewhere.
Yeah, we'll see. He's going to be moving in towards mid. We'll see if Quad can set this up. He will have to hit the root. Very likely to get something from this. Cody is standing pretty far forward here. Inspired. Going to see if he can look. They don't connect on the root, so Inspired will just cross through mid lane. Help to get a little bit of poke down here. And then look for a steal on the enemy Raptors. But back to our top side, it is Pro Delta taking quite a bit of damage there from Masu as he went forward and ends up eating the bad end of that trade.
Yeah, so Inspired's idea there, of course, is just, hey, I'm going to be crossing over to the other side anyway. He waits around a little small time investment to see if they can fish around for anything, get a small little bit of poke damage, but nothing truly meaningful. Meanwhile, the Volibear and Mbessa matchup, as kind of expected here, Volibear's early lane phase, really powerful. Bwipo doing a good job pushing Mbessa in under tower and keeping her there. And we are going to have him go for the very early recall here. He moved up between towers to proxy so he could kill the wave quicker. annihilate that wave, and then get his recall off here with his tier buy. Your Fimble Winter makes you so tanky. Volibear really does benefit a lot from the ability haste too. You know, it's a bunch of health and ability haste, which is really key for the Volibear here, and we'll see if he can scale into one of those unkillable tanks.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, Inspired took 3 camps from him bot side. Scary took the 3 camps top side, so they are all even at the end of the day. It's just a little bit of a later scuttle take here from Scary. So Inspired has already gone back to base, grabbed his giant spell, going to be back out on the map that little bit faster here. Scary was seeing if he could find an angle to look towards top side, but wasn't really anything there. FlyQuest will have control. The 2v2 have been slowly whittling away on Pro Delta and just kind of chunking him down, and Busio just hitting these Qs constantly, being able to get them healed back up. Zope taking the bad end of this trade. Whippo, if you hit both sides of the E, if you get the shield and they take the damage, it is pretty much unlosable in those trades. You just have to straight up back off. You can't afford to be trading into the Volibear with that.
Yeah, and you can always have perma push, stack up your passive on those minions. Whippo again pushing this in, and because they split the jungle, there are the deep wards that were still lying around. Him pushing in on tower, this turret play gonna go down. Extra money already achieved here. Constant pressure, even goes for a bit of a chunk under tower. Getting the shield, relying on that, takes a tower shot on the way out though.
Yeah, not too bad. Is going to be able to get a decent trade there. Procs the grasp and everything as well. Just trying to stay aggressive, trying to stay in the face of his opponent, who has not yet gone back to base. Pretty calm game 1 so far. Inspired was spotted there, but Scary is trying to match. He's going to move down. They're trying to threaten this dive. Whippo not yet level 6, but they are going to look for it. Zope is going to have to try to outplay. He needs to delay here. Time for Scary, but he's going to get stunned up. He's going to get locked down. The passive is there. They get the flash. They will back off. A nice attempted dive. Zope does survive, but not able to really get much out of it.
Yeah, let's see about any sort of return, because now no flash, big chunk on him as well.
Yeah.
You have to constantly be worried. Whippo loves to just keep up the pressure. As you say, Sejuani has left and gone over to the dragon already, so they'll be happy to take their objective. The constant pressure from Whippo really paying off here. He's level 6 now too, so now with no flash on the Mbessa,
it's an easy
they
dive.
can truly threaten those dives, turn off the tower, and keep that 1v1 pressure off. That's why it was so critical in the opening of this game. Those deep wards, the bottom lane from FlyQuest really played around them super well, not giving over the lane swap info until the very last second.
Yep, going to be able to play it out well, still maintaining those swaps up towards top side. Is Pro Delta going to go for a swing? Does crash down onto Busio, but the stun missed. Now Busio trying to get a little bit of a trade back. Will be able to do so. The double shields there, just allowing Masu to get an auto or 2 out pretty much without being punished. Double tiers on both sides, of course, in different positions, but the main advantage really is just Whippo for now. You know, Quad just been kind of farming it out mid lane, has a slight edge here over Cody, has been doing his best to just step forward when that reflect is up and reflect some of these threaded volleys to try to get a little bit of chip damage back and try to build those incremental advantages. And one of the advantages of Mel is the passive and how it works for CSing. It's so easy to last hit. Like, it is so easy on this champion to get all of the minions, especially for someone at a pro level, and that's kind of where that edge is coming from. Whippo looking for another trade here. Zope on the run is going to have to just back it up. But knows he cannot trade into this, especially after you get that first W. The second one has all that additional healing. Volibear really doing a good job so far in these early stages, creating those incremental advantages. It's 20 CS now, and Zope is going to have to go back to base here. And will mean he loses a second plate already. Yeah,
he's going to lose the plate. He uses the teleport as well, so finally going to get that cooldown out of the Mbessa, I would assume. And then Whippo here constantly pushing in again, threat of his own ultimate. He's almost up to level 8 too, so almost the full level.
Cody is moving up, as is Scary. They may try to look for a fight here, but it is Busio and Masu winning out so far. Pro Delta trying to get out of there, nice sidestep, but he won't be able to survive. It's first blood for Masu, but now in comes Cody. Cody's going to be stunned up, charmed up immediately. Looks for the seismic shove, does find it. Now the Bramble Smash comes through from Scary, but Busio able to get back to safety. It's a 4v3 play for Leviatan, but it's FlyQuest who grabbed first blood. Sudden, who get out alive.
FlyQuest get the kill. They get mid lane push too. I wonder if Quad will be able to get an actual turret plate in mid with the Mbessa. Quad get to freely push up. Yep, he finishes up the wave, working right at towers. Is going to be able to get his recall off and reset here. It's perfectly nice buy, plus the turret play. Well done by the top side there. Masu with the Varus ultimate. They're able to get the kill first. And Cody, even though he arrives on the Talia here, trying to make a play up to the top side, it is just a little bit too late. And Busio even matches, peels him right off with the Rakan. So really good mitigation of the difference in roam here by FlyQuest.
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that Busio had hit 6 as he arrived was so important. They had the Sejuani ult right into that Rakan ulti, just CCing him up, not allowing him to really get to those juicy targets that he wanted to, like Masu. And Busio now moving around the map. Pro Delta does really favor that very heavy roam style, and we could see, they lost the fight up on top side. He immediately went down towards bot to see if there was anything happening down with Whippo, but couldn't make it happen over there. It's going to get pushed here in mid, but so far it is just Masu up on his lonesome up in top lane, soaking up some additional experience while Quad just holds this wave in mid.
And if you look at how these comps are going to play out for the next 10 minutes, FlyQuest are going to have really, really good siege angles here. Whippo is going to be a massive front line. They just pull up to the tower, start throwing long-range damage with either Mel or Varus on their side, and then you have constant side lane pressure from the Volibear, threatening dives with his ultimate. Huge gold lead for him. Whipple's almost by himself 1,000 gold ahead here in the single matchup, and then you have plenty of playmaking too. If someone does receive poke, actually doesn't even matter if you fully get the kill there, because you've got Sejuani and Rakan who can pick someone off, or if Mel can stack up the passive Mel ultimate as well. A lot of threats here once the siege really gets into full swing from FlyQuest.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I had talked about, hey, well, maybe they're going to be a little bit light on consistent damage, but it's not even a tank Maokai. It is going to be full AP Maokai here, going towards that Leandries first. Obviously, you can go in towards tank after that, but I don't think any sort of real frontline is going to be an issue here for FlyQuest, as all of the targets now will be fairly squishy. And it's going to make things very difficult for them. They'll have to have proper setup, and we'll see if they can actually find a way to get that really good engage without being able to use the Maokai ult to ever start things off, due to Quad playing this Mel.
All right, we'll see about the next spawn of Void Grubs. Pack coming up here, vision being cleared out ahead of time.
Yeah, Whippo just constantly pushing in, relentlessly trading, trying to keep him uncomfortable on the Mbessa here under the tower. Always willing to take a tower shot as long as he has that E shield coming through. And has done a good job as FlyQuest, again, looking to start up the Grubs up on top side. Whippo just trying to lock him down under the tower. He has TP advantage, though, so if he can't get the push and back off, it's pretty much impossible for Leviatan to really do anything here, and we'll see what Whippo wants to play.
And I'd say it's just guaranteed to always have the push, too, so Leviatan should not fight these Grubs. I feel like it would be disastrous. There are so many things that FlyQuest can use right now to turn it around.
Yeah, Sayo taking some poke there from Quad is inspired, threatening on the engage, but doesn't actually let the ulti rip. Now I think FlyQuest are just going to go back and look to start it up, but is it TP right down towards bot lane for Whippo? Has the Iceborne Gauntlet completed, but still no chance of a contest there. They are instead going to go for the Dragon, it looks like, as we have Cody down towards this bot side with Scary and Pro Delta. It will just be a trade at the end of the day, but no one's matching Masu, so it does mean FlyQuest should come out ahead, should be able to get at least one plate.
Yep. Free money here for the Varus on top side. Masu will get turret plates. Whippo should be fine down there too. Volibear is so ahead and so tanky. Already to the full frozen gauntlet here for himself, and stacking up the extra mana on the tier. Don't think he's too worried about any sort of dive after the dragon. So I think it was a correct call from Leviatan to go for a dragon, but they did have to give up more money into the Varus, and it is going to be painful. Masu finishes his first item here off of that, so Ghost Blade power will come through. A lot of these first item power spikes pretty early here for FlyQuest.
Yep, you can see the Black Torch as well done there for Quad. And so much of Mel's damage really can come through items when you go for these double dot builds. It'll be interesting to see if he fully commits to that. We're seeing people do a couple different builds. Generally you see Blackfire Torch, but some people do like to go, tier into Leandry. Some people like to go double dot build. Some people go into, Void Staff and more kind of just raw AP and stuff from here. So it'll be interesting to see where he elects to go, but I do really like the double dot build. It's just so frustrating to deal with when you're getting hit by Comet and Scorch and Leandries and all of these things. Even if you just get one tick of the Q, you're taking that punishment.
Those annoying little needles from Mel definitely do stack up, and the Comet as well, quite easy for Mel to land. But I have to say, story of this game probably going to be a lot about this Volibear pick from Whippo as Sejuani.
Yeah, they're going to look for Cody. Flash in, and there's the ultimate to follow it up. Can they burst him down? Cody's got nowhere to go. The CC chain doesn't ever end. Perfectly executed there by FlyQuest down in the bot lane.
I mean, this thing has just been deleting them. All right,
here we go. Does he have the reflect available? Let's see. He does. Wait, it didn't even go back. Okay,
it does
just, there it goes. Goes back and is going to be able to
you
knock
lied
that
to
onto
me.
him. They're going to look for the engage. Public execution goes down onto Quad. Quad going to be in some trouble here. Nice double snare there, and it's Pro Delta who gets knocked down first. Zope trying to make it happen, is barely able to survive. Scary backing out.
Okay, on the chase here, Busio and Masu.
Yeah, we'll see if they can actually get anything done. One teleports out as another teleports in here. Cody does arrive to the scene as Zope able to survive. Seismic Shove not going to connect here. And they are able to get at least the one kill, but it's a 1-for-1, and they lost the tower on bot side. Plus, it cost them 2 teleports.
Yeah, Whippo's just running away down there on the bottom side of the map, just destroying this lane. That Sejuani gank was so quick. They instantly delete their target, finish off the tower, no problem. That is one rich bear. Almost 2,000 gold advantage, just Whippo.
Yeah, that is massive. And Quad now moving up towards this top side again, and we'll look to just clear out this wave. Going to be able to do that very easily now. It is working towards a double dot build, so he's going to go Leandry second here. They have already grabbed the Feats of Strength, had that Feats of Warfare, and did grab first tower. So feeling really good about how this game is going. It is one dragon apiece. Hextech Soul so deadly with the poke comps. Both teams would love it, and we'll see if it's going to be heavily contested here in about minute 50.
All right, Leviatan, let's see what they can do. I mean, Maokai's just kind of hovering up here, but I think it's just to ensure that Cody will be able to finish off that wave and get back. Really hard for them to kind of create their own plays at the moment because FlyQuest have been able to keep their towers pretty healthy. Even the top one up there, still standing for themselves. And it is quite easy for Whippo to constantly fully push into the secondary tower. So it affords you all of this room, all of this extra time and extra control of the map. I mean, he's even by himself as a top laner messing around with red buff. Just a quick little check here. See how much he could possibly get away with his 2,000 gold lead. Fimble Winter almost completely transformed. Winter's approach over here. And I mean, he's living the dream.
Yeah.
The entire bot side of this map is Volibear territory, Azael.
I mean, it's not really a super action-packed, bloody game, but FlyQuest is just constantly pushing the gold lead further and further ahead. They're going to be able to take down this Rift Herald very easily, it looks like. Leviatan in the area, but I don't really think they have what it takes to actually fight from this position. Bubba's back in base especially means he could teleport in. They just have Zope trying to get as much gold as he can, but he is going to be useless compared to Whippo in these team fights. Only has the one item and is very, very squishy. If he gets CC'd up whatsoever, could be tough. Whippo trying to hold on to this mid lane tower and protect that as much as he possibly can, and looks like they can easily go up towards topside, take down this tower without even using the Herald. They get threatened at tier 2 or save it for mid around this next dragon.
Yeah, if you're looking at it from FlyQuest's perspective, all they really need to focus on as #1 priority is keep their vision up, which they have done really well. Moving vision between the enemy jungle here so that they don't get any sort of surprise rel engage or something, because as long as you can avoid that, it is pretty easy to set up the defenses here and abuse this range of Mel and Varus in complement to your pushing side lanes here to constantly be the first ones to the objective, constantly be the ones with early advantage in health due to your poke, and then it makes it very hard for Leviatan to get that like surprise engage or that big play that is going to crack through FlyQuest defenses. seems like they can keep the Varus and Mel quite safe unless there is some sort of surprise play where the Rel all of a sudden got into a dangerous position behind you.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough, I think, if they can't actually get that first move towards some of these towers. They are trying to trade back some gold up on the top side, but as soon as Scary is out of there, Whippo moves in and will be able to defend this. Going to take some damage, but not that much. Has the Merc Treads completed, and there is the fully stacked tier. So now really online here. Just need a slow or a stun. You get that shield, and Busio working with Masu here, trying to clear out some vision. Lands a nice little chunk on a Pro Delta, but Scary and Seo are in the area, so they do have to be respectful of that short man advantage.
Yep. They have to be very, very respectful. You get the early move. All right, FlyQuest grouping up. The dreaded Siege, Azale, that we've been mentioning. FlyQuest 4-person grouping up in mid. Drop the Rift Herald. This thing's going to come through. Big chunk. You can already see the Mel poke. Pretty painful here. Masu as well, unloading. And Leviatan at least will be able to defend and keep the remnants of the tower up after the charge.
They are, but at the top side, it's another tower that went the way of FlyQuest. That second tower has been knocked down. Whippo was able to push that in, so it cost them the teleport there from Cody. They kind of overload that side to defend, and it ends up costing them elsewhere on the map, which has really been the theme so far of this game. You can see Whippo using those Hex Gates to get right back out of the map as quickly as he possibly can. Maso has just kind of been posted up, farming comfortably, quad farming comfortably, almost has that Leandry's complete now, has both of the pieces to it. And that is where things are going to get even more difficult. Masu done his second item now as well. The Heartsteel is completed for Inspired. There hasn't really been any fighting, so he has no stacks. And Volibear up on top side, Whippo's just going to give over the tower to deny local gold. He's saying, you know what, you'll come back later and get this, but you won't get much for it. So I'll just allow it to die now.
Yep, nicely done there. He picked up the Bloody Rose that was under tower. I don't know if this other one right next to the brush is one of those spectator bugs, but it looks like he's going to go for the early recall here. The Otacon is spawning on the top side of the map. So Leviatan grabbing their vision control setup here. Maybe they're choosing, we are going to have to make our big play pretty soon before this game gets completely out of hand. But they've been, sussed out here. Quad doing his best up at the Krugs to be annoying.
Yep, takes away some of those mini Krugs as well. Got at least 4 of them, if not more. And does push him out. And again, this is Scary with the Leandry's build, so he is very squishy. He really just took 1 Q and part of the E, and he lost about 30–40% of his health. So that is going to get very, very dangerous. And there's really good synergy here, between Quad and Masu. Obviously, you're softening them up, and then you have the X-Q with your W on the Varus that can knock them down. That can get them even lower, so that Mel can ult and finish them off with the stack still staying up. So it is a very frustrating combo to deal with, and Whippo here helping to get that wave in.
And since Whippo does have his teleport, they should just send him back down bottom lane and move everybody else with all these 2-item breakpoints up to the Otacon. Try and repeat and gain value out of your poke comp. You have so much range, so much harassment, that anytime you control vision in an area with the main objective, aka Otacon, FlyQuest going to look to try and get little chunks of damage, little chips, and really annoy Leviatan until the point where they are able to make that final move. And here they go. Looks like after just putting down those wards, they are going to go for the resets. So with FlyQuest actually resetting their bottom lane here and going for full resets, it is now the other side of the coin there where you get the window for Leviatan. They got a little bit of vision in themselves and go for their own resets, although they have not been able to catch up and get to their 2-item breakpoints. So FlyQuest will have a fairly large advantage if there is a full fight.
Yeah, there's a lot of members here from Leviatan going over towards Whippo. They could probably kill him if they all commit, but it would mean you lose Otacon. So, Whippo is okay, pushing heavily. He knows there's no way he loses in a 1v1. He might even survive in a 1v2. And if you send 3, you lose Otacon on top side. So he is just kind of playing with that aggressive mindset, saying you will have to send more than you can afford to get anything done here.
And I don't even think they could catch him. The Volibear with ultimate and flash available, you can avoid the CC with your ultimate and have flash distance and Q speed.
Seismic shove back. Inspired gonna have to flash out to safety here. Here's the Maokai ultimate, gonna reflect the 1 root back. And not going to be too much more than that, but they did at least get the flash there off of Inspired at the cost of Ignite from Pro Delta.
All right, Dragon coming up. Probably will rotate our resources down over to Dragon to rack that one up. You mentioned how critical a Hextech Soul would be, and it looks like
Mel and Varus,
yeah,
that's like, get me out of that game.
yeah, that is going to be #1 priority. So everybody Hexgate on down to this, and we'll see. Is this going to be the moment? Because Leviatan are using Hexgates of their own. Currently, they're sending Cody with his teleport to go catch the top wave while this happens, but doesn't mean they couldn't try and call him in and use the teleport.
Yeah.
I think it's just so dangerous, though. Honestly, if I'm Leviatan, I would give this one and try and fight something more critical like the Otacon or the actual Soul.
Yeah.
And try and get your other items on your carries real quick.
Sometimes when you are down like this, it's kind of between a rock and a hard place, right? Neither option seems good because you risk it here, you're down items. You don't risk it here. One mistake later means Soul, and maybe means the end of the game. So there is that cost. Of course, they do push up topside. Not really able to trade for anything major, though. It's just going to be about a denial of maybe a wave on topside. So FlyQuest very happy to move to Soul Point here, especially when it is that Primo 1. You can see Bwipo again just shoving up down on bot side. Second item is done for Zove, but we see Bwipo closing in on his third, as he's going to have that online pretty shortly. And we'll have to see where Masu wants to go. Has picked up the Lost Whisper, so he's going to be going some Armor Pen, and we'll see if Quad wants to elect to go towards, you know, some Magic Pen, go towards a Void Staff or something next, or if he's just going to continue building towards that flat AP.
Yeah, and the tension is also building because the rewards for the win on the next team fight are just going to be insanely massive. You know, we're getting so far into the game. Baron will spawn in only 1 more minute, and then you're going to have a scenario where in 4 minutes, you'll have Otacon and Baron and Dragon Soul all on the map.
Yeah.
I think we'll probably get a confrontation before that Dragon comes up because
starting.
Just the Otacon and Baron are big enough rewards in themselves, but they're already going. Busio here with the wraparound Hex Gates.
Yeah, this is going to be scary for Leviatan. You know, if you sit there and they're in the area, they're going to be able to poke you constantly off of this. No one's answering Bwipo on the bot side, though, so Leviatan are going to lose out as FlyQuest pushes them back off of this. Bwipo will go back to base, likely has his third item completed here. He does. That is done as well. This guy's just going to be a brick wall, and Cody still does not have his second. It's getting tough, you know, for Leviatan. They really do have to kind of choose their moment to draw a line in the sand and say, you can go no further. We need to fight.
I will say this game is exactly why they named that item Unending Despair. Bwipo here. Oh, he's going in.
Oh, they're going in for it. We'll see if he's going to be able to turn off the tower. There's Chains of Corruption. They caught one. Scary's going to be down already. In comes the teleport, but Zove's in trouble. He's rooted up, and Masu and Quad are getting a lot of work down on them in the back line. On the other side, Inspired taking them up. Pro Delta has to flash to safety. FlyQuest take the tower, take the kills, and they're going to reap the rewards. Cody in some trouble here, trying to get back. Flash forward. There's the rooted. Bwipo trying to follow up, but he doesn't even need him. Quad and Masu get it done. Leviatan is shattered. Bwipo is charging forward, trying to take down Pro Delta. We'll see if he can get even another. There comes the lightning crashing down, and Bwipo just doesn't care about anything Ezreal can do. Hits him with the thumbs up. The rest of the team's going to Otacon, forcing out the cleanse even. Bwipo is healing for more than Seo can even do, Kobe.
The unending despair is real. He's going to finish off the tower in Seo's face right now. While the rest of the team goes to claim the top side rewards. Otacon on the table, the Baron buff on the table. Ezreal Oak goes out for the dream of a steal, but it's not low enough. And Bwipo finishes off the turret while FlyQuest just collect everything here. Otacon buff has been acquired, so now you just go reset, spend all the money you earned off the towers and the team fight that you just earned. By the way, that was 2 towers in mid lane that they got. They started it out by diving one, and so you spend all that money and return to the Baron here with all your Otacon buffs. Let's see. Actually, this is how they just started out. Again, the tower's so low, but we'll just go straight for the tower dive. You can just turn it off as well. And it is just almost 100% to 0 there on first target. They're going for the chase.
FlyQuest going to try to force a fight here. Bwipo and Quad are behind them, and Leviatan is in a lot of trouble. There's the Chains of Corruptions connecting onto Zove. Zove tries to go for public execution, but he just connects on Inspired, and it's him who's going to be executed. Pro Delta already on the run. Cody down on that bot side, and the pings to the Baron are coming in from FlyQuest.
Yeah, Leviatan caught there as they were trying to get some vision on Baron and make sure that they don't lose out completely in this game. But that's going to be it. They send Cody bottom with the teleport. They seed the Baron after the kill, and they just want the objective bounty from the bottom turret. So looks like at the very least, during the time FlyQuest take Baron, Cody will be able to get an objective bounty.
But that goes to roll. Okay. They are going to be able to secure that. But, bad news gets worse because Otacon is still going to be active. The buff is still going to be active for when the dragon spawns. So they're going to have Baron, Otacon, and just be able to hard force instantly on spawn. Yes, if Leviatan can delay a little bit, it's going to expire because it won't be up for long after the dragon is up. But there's no reason for FlyQuest to delay because they want to fight. They want to force this. We'll see. Does Inspired go too far here? He's going to be right in the waiting arms, but the seismic shove was not timed well. And now FlyQuest say, yep, we will take this fight. Hits him with a thumbs up. Whippo is pushing out bot. In comes Quad on the Mel, and they are just taking over the opponent's jungle, making it such a nightmare to even get vision over by that dragon.
So, Azael, Whippo's almost level 18. He's only got half a level to go.
There you go.
And he's maxed out. That's quite a massive level lead.
You're catching up, is what you're saying, because he's going to cap out.
Yeah, soon he's going to cap out. Okay, Here comes Dragon Soul fight, though. Otacon buffs are on still.
Yeah, we'll see. There's a reflect coming through. Whippo just threatening. He runs straight at him, zoning him away. Zope trying to get back and help him out. The carry's got to get involved here for FlyQuest. You can see Quad just raining hell down over the side. The Hextech Soul has been claimed, and we see Zope is gone already. Masu's on a killing spree. The Chains of Corruption made short work of him. Quad just chasing after Seo, hitting Q after Q. This damage is raining down from above, but FlyQuest is going to charge down mid here and look to close this one out.
Yep, should be FlyQuest knocking on the front door. Looks like minion wave on bottom side as well, though, so they rotate from from mid lane here down to bottom side first. They were really just going to collect everything on the map, take the extra large amount of money here in the side turret as well. FlyQuest, the steamroller here in game number 1.
I mean, Whippo is just a man on a mission. He is creating so much space, just charging forward. Cody going to see if he can find someone slipping on the way back, but Masu is able to just walk it out, dodge that seismic shove. Will stay alive and will stay pretty safe here. FlyQuest just need to get back to base and spend all the gold here in their pockets. Masu sitting on 2K, Whippo nearly 2K as well. So Scary trying to show up behind him, and now he's going to be found out by Inspired. Scary will have to go on the run, procs the phase rush, and knows that's going to be that. He's got to get out of there, or he's going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I don't think FlyQuest are the ones that are scared here, so they just push them off, get their resets. Azael, the blue buff will be picked up, and the extremely rich team will return to the Rift. Thankfully, though, as we mentioned now, Whippo has capped out. That's level 18, max level here for the Volley Bear. So try and pray on that. Unfortunately, since FlyQuest also do have the feats of strength, you get that little extra room to scale as well with the upgrades available for the boots. Even seeing some come in here for Quad.
Hasn't really been relevant, but I did like that Busio just rushed towards Mikhail's, because when you think about games like this, the only way you really lose is some sort of a pick, right? So you have that Mikhail's in there to deny, Maokai root or, Maokai flash W, something like that, that could lock you up and just kind of eliminate any win conditions they might possibly have.
Yeah, and there's actually not a lot of threat on the FlyQuest back line. Because Mbessa was so behind in this game, you saw in that previous fight, like, Whippo just turned around and Mbessa behind there couldn't do much. They're going to go for it.
Yeah, they're going to go for the dive here. Cody in trouble, has to flash out of safety. Public execution into the backline. Masu is getting cut down, and he's going to get shut down by Zope. But we'll see what Whippo can do on the other side. It's Whippo in a 1v4, and he likes those odds. This man is tanky on the bear, but is he tanky enough? He gets another kill, and he's still surviving. The damage is ridiculous that he can tank through. In comes the rest of FlyQuest. Whippo stands tall in a 1v4 and takes one with him.
The damage is ridiculous, and the healing is ridiculous on Volley Bear. He gets the kill on Pro Delta and survives. Though, I gotta eat my words a little bit. Mbessa did kill Masu here, so let's look at the back line a little bit.
Flowers and I had the Cassante check. Turns out this is still Mbessa.
I would also say Seo there, the Ezreal ult chunked him quite low, so that Ezreal ult damage really did help out in the execution, and so Mbessa flashing in to finish it off. Nice little job there. So Leviatan got something out of it, but look at this monster.
I mean, this is just crazy. Stuns him up, bites him in half. Look at this healing.
Yeah.
300 and then 1,300 from the AoE heal drain there, and gets everything through, and is able to survive.
Yeah. Empowered heal with a Spirit Visage, or empowered W heal with a Spirit Visage. So massive. Plus the kill, plus the drain.
You know what? If you play like that, don't need a scout. Respect.
What's around me? 4 champs? Okay.
Just go in, beat
Sounds
their
good.
ass, no problem. Doesn't matter if it's Kobe, doesn't matter if it's Faker, no problem. Get in there. And we're going to have a fight breaking out again, though. Cody going to the backline, and Cody going to regret this. He's in a lot of trouble, and Masu knocks him down already. Lucio going to get killed on the other side, though. Zofe in the backline this time can't kill off Masu, and Pro Delta is in a world of hurt. Quad flashes forward looking for the root, can't quite find it. Seo and Scary will survive. Nice shutdown there from Seo. Hits him with the True Shot Barrage. Maybe going to be able to stay alive here. Whipple charging forward. Seo has to shift out to safety. Quad just zoning them off right now as Inspired is knocking away on this tower. The rest of the FlyQuest come back, and they are going to be able to claim this first inhibitor turret.
Yeah, as long as one of the 2 carries still alive there for FlyQuest, they can still get a lot of work done. Looks like they're just going to get chased out here after the tower, though. No inhibitor does go down. What are the chances here that Seo maybe is able to pull off some magic? Because Seo's been putting in some work in the last little bit here on the Ezreal, up to the 3 items at least. Of course, it is a huge deficit to make back from the side of Leviatan, but they've got to continue looking for those angles.
Yeah, Scary, maybe going a little bit too far. We'll see if he can walk out. He's going to root back in here. They get another stun onto Inspired, but Inspired is just so damn tanky. And in comes the Mel damage, in comes the kill. Quad is unstoppable. The teleport arrives from Whippo, and that is time to run for Leviatan. Pro Delta not going to have any luck getting out of this one. Whippo's just going to Doomba stop Seo, jumping in on top of him, chasing after him. The stun lands. Seo shifts to safety, but not for long. You got nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. The bear is hunting, and he's hungry. Bites Seo in half. FlyQuest are winning the fight in mid lane as well. Zofei's now trying to escape, trying to cut that wave, but not going to be able to do much against the might of FlyQuest.
All right, this has got to be it. FlyQuest here marching towards the end of game number 1. Inhibitor will go down shortly, and it's just Talia and Mbessa here to try and pull off heroics.
We'll see if they can make anything happen. Chains of Corruption does connect, and it is Zofe in so much trouble. Surviving for now, tries to go into public execution, but it's him who's down. With both threatening, going forward. Scary in trouble. Pro Delta trying to come back. Cody seeing what he can get done, but he just can't even hurt Whippo. The Nexus towers are down. It's Pro Delta flashing forward. It's Masu down, Inspired low, but they've got no more damage. Cody standing strong, but it's him versus the world, and FlyQuest have their eyes on the Nexus. Whippo just going to be taunting him, making him wish he could do something about it, but no one can get through Whippo this game. He's just too damn wide. FlyQuest take game number 1.
Whippo reactions still delivering here.